Hello, friends. I'm the Reverend Terry Peterson, minister of St. John's in Guruk. Today is Wednesday, the 24th of February, the 7th day in the season of Lent. So it is time for the next in our series of Faith in 40 Objects. So today's object is food that's donatable. So like non-perishable goods that you could donate to a food bank or to a neighbor in need or anyone like that. Now, I have picked out of my cupboard two things that I actually use a lot, not just leftover things that I'm not really using, but things that are in regular rotation in my house, often together, in fact, because I think it's important when we donate food that we donate things that we actually would use and not just leftovers. And I think it's important as well that if possible we donate both essentials, nutritious, high protein, full of vitamins, food like that, but also that we at least occasionally donate sort of what I would call special occasion foods, like the things you might need to bake a cake or to have a special occasion for you or your children, because the fact that someone is in need does not mean that they don't deserve to have a birthday cake, for instance. So if you get a chance to donate food that is special occasion food as well as staple food, then please do that. It can make such a difference to the mental health and to the sense of well-being of families that are in need of that kind of help. Now, it might feel obvious that, of course, food would be one of our 40 objects because eating together is such a crucial part of our Christian life. It's one of the things we miss most when we are in our homes just now. We want to think, of course, it's beginning with Jesus and all the meals he ate with people, and especially the Last Supper. And because of the communion table, we share table with all sorts of people. The reality is, of course, that there are important meals throughout the Bible, and that God wants us to be at table together because that's a time when we are nourished together by the same foods, right? We share this one thing that becomes a part of us and so makes us one. And there's also, of course, the mandate to take care of one another. So it makes sense that our objects would be donatable things today, because it matters that we care for each other in really practical, tangible ways, as well as by prayer. So if you get a chance today, I invite you to look through your cupboards and pull out some things that you are willing to part with just now. Maybe because you're not going to eat them before your next shop. They're here as a sort of hedge against the possibility that your next big shop might be later than you expect, or you're not sure what they're going to be for yet, or maybe they're your favorite things and you want to share them with someone. Or if you're going shopping soon, put a few extra things into your basket and make a donation to the Inverclyde Food Bank, because there are more people in need right now than ever before, and our communities are doing their best to take care of each other, but that depends on all of us taking care of each other in these really practical ways. So there is a passage in Deuteronomy that I thought of when I was thinking about this idea of how we care for one another in these practical ways. And it's from Deuteronomy chapter 15, and it starts at verse 7. If there is among you anyone in need, a member of your community in any of your towns within the land that the Lord your God is giving you, do not be hard-hearted or tight-fisted toward your needy neighbor. You should rather open your hand, willingly lending enough to meet the need, whatever it may be. Be careful that you do not entertain a mean thought, thinking, the 7th year, the year of remission, is near, and therefore view your needy neighbor with hostility and give nothing. Your neighbor might cry to the Lord against you, and you would incur guilt. Give liberally and be ungrudging when you do so, for on this account the Lord your God will bless you in all your work and in all that you undertake. Since there will never cease to be some in need on the earth, I therefore command you, open your hand to the poor and needy neighbor in your land. I don't think that it could be more clear that we are commanded to give generously and without thought of it being returned to us, and that our calling is to take care of each other. Just before this, it actually says, there will be no one in need among you, because the understanding is that you will take care of each other so well that there won't be a chance for anyone to be in need. But if you fail at that level, then at the next level, make sure that you give ungrudgingly. Do not be hard-hearted or tight-fisted. So not thinking, oh, they don't deserve it. It doesn't matter if they deserve it. If someone is hungry, they're hungry. Especially when we start talking about people living in families. But even so, whether it's just a single adult who's hungry or a family with children, both of those people or both of those family units deserve to have food and shelter enough to live on and not just to sort of scrape by a bare existence. So this business in the middle about be careful you don't entertain a mean thought, thinking the 7th year is near. The 7th year is the one where all debts are forgiven. So for this command, it says, don't give thinking, oh, I'm never going to get this back because it's about to be forgiven. Where if it was the 1st year, then you might have time to be repaid. And if it's, the 6th year, then you won't. And so they just leave them to fend for themselves? No, absolutely not. You are not to think about your own repayment. You are only to think, how can I help this person in need so that all have enough? And one of the ways we try to do this in our modern world is through things like food banks and food shares and the school uniform swap and things like that, and charity. But the reality is we're supposed to build it into our society as well. So we start that by taking care of our neighbors and by insisting that those who make the rules that order our society build in care for the needy at every level. So today, I invite you to find a way to give something tangible to someone in need, not in a hard-hearted spirit and not tight-fistedly and not thinking, oh, they don't deserve it, or oh, I'll never get repaid for this. Just thinking, that person is hungry. I have more than enough. And so for this bit of Lent, we can share our abundance in order that all might have enough. And then perhaps to think about how we might participate in building a more just society so that there are fewer people in need of charity because all of us are looking out for each other. So Deuteronomy tells us, give liberally and be ungrudging when you do so. For on this account, the Lord will bless you in all your work. So we do get something from this, but we don't give in order to get. We find when we give that we experience blessing ourselves as well. So today, may you be blessed in giving so that all in our community can have enough. Until tomorrow, peace be with you.